Thank you so much, Scott. It's great to be here. The first two speakers are very, very close personal friends of mine. Between them, they have 6 beautiful daughters. I've met all of them. The MEC is a very diverse group, believes in diversity. I'm here to represent the grandparents that are in the room. I have 5 of them, but I don't have nearly enough time to tell you about them. So it's good to be with you here this morning. At first, certainly want to thank the MEC for this opportunity to briefly speak with you here as you assemble for Capitol Day. I have a unique past relationship with what is going on here today, having served more than 20 years ago on the Board of Governors of the MEC. I don't even know if you still have a Board of Governors or not. I have worked closely with Scott Waller, with Blake Wilson, even back to the days of Bob Pittman. And more recently, having served 2 terms in the Mississippi Senate, I certainly know how important this meeting is, and that the MEC is the very heart and soul of Mississippi's economy. I won't be long. My message is short, sweet, simple, but it's so very important. In August of last year, Governor Bryant asked me to serve as the chairman of the Mississippi Complete Count Committee associated with the upcoming 2020 census. The committee's role is to educate our citizens from the Gulf Coast to the Tennessee line, from Alabama to Arkansas and Louisiana, about the importance of the 2020 census, the extreme importance. It's a huge task and one for which we need your help. I stand before you today recognizing the significant influence that each of you have back in your hometowns and throughout the state of Mississippi. The fact that you are seated in this room here today unequivocally establishes your credentials of influence here in the state of Mississippi. I know you're here today to make contact with your elected representatives and senators in the Mississippi legislature. And I know you all have issues of great importance to you and to your locales back in your hometowns. But I would suggest to you this morning that there is nothing, absolutely nothing more important impacting our state this year, your home county, your hometown, this entire state of Mississippi, than the 2020 census. And here's why I say that. The population of our state, your county, even your hometown is the determining factor of literally billions with a B of federal dollars that will be dispersed over the next 10 years. These funds go to support education through Head Start, special needs programs, and numerous child care and nutrition programs, public health programs, including Medicaid, Mississippi's Children's Health Insurance Program, also known as CHIP. As I said, the nutrition programs, including SNAP, WIC, school lunches, foster care programs. The census also determines how much money communities and states receive for local programs, including support for local hospitals, fire and police department, roads, bridges, and highways. And as important as the economics of the census is to all of us in Mississippi, the census numbers are critical to us in other important matters. They determine the number of members of the United States House of Representatives that Mississippi and all other states have in the capital. In hometown Mississippi, the census will determine which ward or precinct a citizen votes in and is represented by at City Hall. The supervisor districts in every Mississippi county for every Mississippi citizen, the metes and bounds of those districts are determined by the census count. And of particular importance to us here today and what your mission is here today, the 122 House districts and the 52 Senate districts will be shaped in the upcoming 4-year elections from now by the results of the Mississippi Senate, or the census. Prior to coasting into retirement, I served 20 years as a member of the Louisville Board of Aldermen. And as Scott mentioned a moment ago, I served 8 years as a member of the Mississippi Senate. Believe me, I know that the most demanding task of government officials is finding enough revenue to support all of the important facets of government that our citizens expect and deserve. And as you know, the stopgap for critically important services when there isn't sufficient revenue from the state falls directly back on businesses, industries, and individuals in higher taxes. For every adult that is not counted in Mississippi in the 2020 census, over $2,000 in federal funds will be lost. The figure increases to $2,700 for every child. And since the census data is used over the next 10 years, this means well over $20,000 per person for every individual that we miss in counting in the upcoming census. For every 1,000 people that we miss, we stand to lose over $20 million over the next 10 years. This morning, I'm asking you to help spread the word that the individual data collected in the census is required by law to be kept confidential for 72 years. I'm not the least bit embarrassed to tell you that I'm 71 years old. Nothing that my parents ever reported about me or their family situation on the census, particularly about me, can be released until 2022, 2 more years. I was first counted in the 1950 census. The data that is collected next year will not be released to the public until the year 2092, and then only for specific research projects. Responding to the census doesn't jeopardize any benefits that any citizen is presently receiving. However, citizens do need to understand that not responding to the census could very easily put many of those benefits at risk because funding of them is directly tied to the number of people that are counted. In closing, I'm not here to ask you to help us count folks next year. That will be left in the very capable hands of the United States Census Bureau. However, as chairman of Mississippi's Complete Count Committee, I hope you'll leave here today committed to helping us spread the word that we count in Mississippi. 49 other states are involved in the census. They're doing everything they can to get their people out, to get their share of the benefits of a good full count. We've got to push the load, folks. We've got to get out there and get our folks educated on how important this is. And as I said in my opening remarks, there's simply nothing facing us in the state of Mississippi any more important. Thank you so much for allowing me to be here. God bless you all.